I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching for 23 years, and I know what a good school looks like, and I know what a struggling school looks like. And just even when I walked in the door the first day for our first meeting with Mrs. Mitchell, and I walked around the school, I knew this was someplace special. I was surprised. This was an elementary school specifically for students with autism, and it was quiet in the halls. And as we walked into each classroom, the students were all engaged, the students were all learning, and this was the reason I brought my students to the school. The students were all happy. And there wasn't one student in those classrooms that was left out or left behind. And that really spoke volumes to me. As I said, as a teacher who's been in education now for over 20 years, it was, like I said, surprising, shocking in a wonderful way. And I knew that I had made the right phone call. We have been with the Autism Academy for 7 years, and I have 2 sons that attend there. My oldest this year is a senior, and my youngest is a 9th grader. I've always felt that we're part of a team. Every time that we've had a challenge, it has been just that. It's been a challenge and not a problem. We have worked with the teachers and with the administration to come up with plans that work for my sons, and it's been success because of that. And so I don't feel like it's us versus them. I feel like it is all of us working together to create the best future for my sons. Like, I'm trying not to cry. Like, you're gonna make me, like, this is gonna make me cry, because it is true. Like, neither of them are students that would be like student of the month material very often. They tend to have struggles. They're not perfect young men, and they have grown so much that they're almost unrecognizable from what they were like when they were young. And it is because of the environment that they've been in. Moving to Autism Academy changed the trajectory of their futures. My youngest son hated school. And there are a number of stories I could give you as to why. It was because of circumstances that happened at school. He loves school now, and I never expected that to happen for him. It was like watching a miracle from what we were coming from. You know, at the other school, there would be kids that would just be left alone in the corner to just do whatever they wanted to, and they were just ignored or considered not worth working with. And at Autism Academy, every child's worth working with. So it's just different. All of this is so true. It's unlike any place else we've ever been. One of the things that happened first that really told me I was in a different place was when Gunnar was in 5th grade, and he had some struggles, and he was having a behavioral issue in the classroom, and his teacher called me, and I was apologizing for his behavioral issue, and she stopped me, and she said, "No," she said, "there's nothing for you to apologize for. This is just a behavior. This isn't who he is, and we're gonna work together, and we're gonna work through this." And that was the moment that I knew, like, I truly knew that this was the place for us. They were able to separate who my child truly was and see my child for who he is on the inside, instead of the way that he was expressing his frustration. And they've also worked with him to be able to learn to express his frustration in a positive and appropriate manner as well. So it wasn't excusing the situation. That's another thing that I love about the school, is their focus on character. My sons have challenges. Many students have challenges, but even though those challenges are understood and those challenges are accepted and they're worked through, they're not used as an excuse. And the focus on character is still strong, and accountability for the students is still strong, despite the understanding for the challenges. It's changing lives, it's changing individual lives, it's changing families, and it's changing communities. When my oldest son was in 1st grade, even though he knew how to do square roots and multiply, he had a teacher who told him to do a worksheet with 100 addition problems. And he would do this worksheet with 100 addition problems every day, even though it was way below his abilities. And when I brought it up to the teacher, she said, well, he needs to get used to doing repetitive work, because that's what he's going to be doing when he grows up. And as a mom of a 6-year-old at the time, to be told that that's what my child is capable of, that's a hard thing to accept. But with the Autism Academy, all of a sudden his world's opened up. And with the career exploration that they do and the transition services that they do, really Gunnar can do whatever he wants to do with his life. And he's not going to be doing repetitive tasks his entire life. And in that way, she's changing, not, like I said, not just individuals, not just families, but changing communities and expanding what people understand as the abilities of these people that might have learning differences, but they also have unique and wonderful skills that they can provide to the community. And if we can change our communities, then that, of course, goes on and changes even more. So.